Hi, Miss Rhona. How are you?
Hi, great, great. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Such a pleasure.
Great. So, unfortunately, Mr. B is having a little bit of technical issues on his end. He's in the Philippines right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
he had to be here, but then, of course, we are all here. So, as a team, we do continue, Miss
Yes,
Dedra.
absolutely. Sure.
the show must go on.
Yes,
The show must go on.
Yes,
yes.
absolutely.
We
Mm-hmm.
have
Mhm.
been able to keep the show on. I think we started in January this year,
I believe
if I remember
so.
correctly.
Yeah.
So we're just here. So excellent. So we are on Free Talk with Mr. B. So let's start our conversation today with our guest speaker, Miss Rhona Morada.
Yeah,
Hi, Rhona. How are
yeah.
you?
So far, so good. So far, so good. We're excited to be here, and I'm so grateful for the invitation. Such a pleasure.
Excellent,
Mm-hmm.
excellent. We are also very happy to have you on. Just to give you a background, we're not sure if you're following Free Talk with Mr. B, but every
I do.
Sunday, yes,
I
thank you. Yes. So every Sunday, it's a team of four individuals. That is myself, Sameena Khanam, and I have my co-hosts with me, Ms. Dedra Stevenson, as well as
So,
Professor Mehreen Mia, who's in South Africa. Ms. Dedra is right here in Ajman now. She has shifted recently to
Ajman.
Ajman. Yes.
Yes.
I was about to say Sharjah. Okay, then I recall that
Not
yes, she
anymore.
is. Yes. So tell us about yourself, Rona, before we get into the nugget which we are going to be discussing.
Yeah, actually, I am, of course, my full name is Rhona Morada, and I am in Dubai for like 20 years of my life. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm working in oil company, and this is like planning on a planning side of the business. And I also have the business in Dubai, which is e-solutions. And yeah, so far so good. This is what I do. I work. I have a work as a full-time job where I used to travel around the world, where there is an oil and gas company. Like, yeah, I'm working in Weatherford, so this is a multinational company. And then the e-solution which I put up during the time of pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
because I lost initially, and then yeah, then that's how life start.
Excellent.
And yeah, you really realize that life is too short, and you just have to do what you want to do and just go for it without even thinking. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's very true. So on the show, we discuss different nuggets on giving back from the book of Mr. B, which is The Art of Giving Back. It's his life's journey and very inspiring, I must say. So today's nugget we're going to be taking up is sharing our grace is giving. I'm sure all of us have come up in our careers from where we were to now where we are today, and we've seen a lot. We've had many blessings, and this is something which is the grace of God, and we ought to share these blessings with the rest of the world at some point or the other. In any forms, there's no proportion, there's no restrictions, no strings attached to it. I'm sure you have done that too. Before I ask my other co-host to say a few words on that, I would request Rona itself to share how, maybe even after coming to Dubai, setting up your stuff, what has been your experience? Have you experienced this giving back your blessings to the community, to the
Yeah,
others?
of course. At least for me, with the context that sharing and giving is like grace, right? On this context, if I will say that, this is more particular when you are going or when you build a business, there are cases that you will be scammed. You are trusting the wrong people. This is the case that I have experienced. And for me, you don't drag yourself into the anger, but you forgive them. And this is a grace. This is a grace of giving. That maybe they made a mistake because of some certain situation that they themselves did not meant to do. So for me, I let myself having my peace by giving the gift of grace. So this is how I like to, that context itself. And scamming of like 100,000 dirhams. This is a lot. And sometimes you cannot even sleep. How can you chew this that you have lost certain amount of money because you trusted someone? And this thing, how can you ever forgive them without even getting the money back? Is just give the grace. At the end of the day, maybe you lost the money because for certain reason, but for me, everything is just a test of attitude when it comes to giving. It doesn't have to be always given back or reciprocated, but at least if you have that heart of giving and you know that giving is a grace, then you let it go and you just go move on with your life and find something else where you can focus your life on a better productive ways than being angry and being unforgiving and beating yourself up because you made a mistake. For me, it's a grace you give to someone and a grace you give to yourself. Yeah, for me, that's the context.
Thank you. I must say that all of us have experienced this, that, we have helped someone in a big way. Ms. Deidra would agree with me. On many other previous episodes, we discussed that, we have helped someone, we have lost a lot of money, we have trusted people. And that's the way the world is. And like we always say, it's not quite, it's become very, very hollow. And I keep repeating that. And then, yes, oftentimes people even forget that, somebody has shared their grace. Like you said, somebody has shared their grace with us, and we ought to reciprocate. We ought to return that back in any form or the other, or even acknowledge that. But unfortunately, that's completely missing. Do you remember of any time, or how about, if you can share a little bit about, do you pray for anyone you do not know, or you recall any instance where have you prayed that's also giving back to someone? Have you prayed for someone you don't know?
Oh my goodness, I have that. And I also have the notebook. And every time, even the Talabat guys, the Sumato guys, when I see them under the sun, I pray for them. God bless you. Because I always have this feeling that you always put yourself into other shoes. That it's really tough. So I do that kind of prayer. And if I can remember the toughest time of my life when I lost my job and I don't have any money because I get it scammed. All the savings that I have, I give it to person I trusted and I got it scammed. I did, and I have fought my battle in prayer. I fought my battle in prayer and I just have submitted everything to God that whatever it is that you want to deliver to me and the message itself, I really want to be kind to myself, to forgive and just give the blessing to someone who have made something wrong to me. So for me this is kind of a giving that I can give to him, that even if he made the mistake I can still pray for a blessing because God is good at the end of the day. And when we pray we know God. So for me, you have to be a representation of your faith. So you don't really like beat someone's up because they made a mistake, because at the end of the day we are human. And human by nature can really make a huge mistake. So for me, this is what I did. And if I will remember the toughest moment of my life, I really don't have money. I really have to sell my things. And if I will think about, I supposed to have money. This is a lot of money that I have saved for years, and I give it to someone. I don't know why I did that, but it was done. And I sell all my LV bags and my, those things that I really love, my jewelries. And it was such a painful thing. But in the end, I just kneeled down to God and I said, I know you have a reason and purpose for this. And I just want to submit to you that at the end of the day, everything works together for good. And the day will go on and keep going. You are the one who holds my life. And for me, that is more than enough. For me, that is everything. And that is what I'm counting on. That my life is nothing without your grace. So this is how I
Yes,
live it.
yes.
And yeah,
Great. Thank you so much
Wow,
good.
for
So
sharing those
wow.
inspiring thoughts. Yes, Ms. Dedra, if what do you have to say on this?
Well, I think she has an absolutely winning attitude about it all. And there's so many
That's
things
really
about what she
true.
said that I can relate to. I've also been like dramatically hurt by people that were supposed to be close to me and supposed to love me unconditionally, in my family of origin. And, it was the hardest thing in the world to make the decision to forgive them for it, and to even reach out and, speak again to them, and, just let it all be water under the bridge. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. We are representing our religion. I like what you said, because that is so true. We're representing our faith, and if you react in a way that's, bitter or angry or violent, that casts a very dark, kind of image on everyone who shares a faith with you. And that's really not good also, and also I think it's what the things we have to do in life that are harder are maybe the things that we get rewarded more for in some other form. I don't know. I mean, I just feel that, that it's not easy, to move past something like that, but with grace. And also it does sort of, you have to think that maybe you're inspiring someone else, to kind of have the strength to move past a terrible time. When you share your grace with someone else, maybe that would be, something they could think about and go, wow, if she did that, I can do it too. I can get through this if she got through that. I would hope so. I mean, God knows, that just that makes me happy to think that anybody would gain anything, from my
Yes,
bad
I hear.
experience.
Yes, yes, that's wonderful. I hear Professor Mia talking. Sister Mia, are you able to hear us? Are you clear on the mic?
I'm not sure if I'm audible enough to you though.
Yes,
Assalamu
yes, you
alaikum
are.
and hello to everybody. Sorry, I'm in transit, so just bear with the wind behind me. I love what our guest has been just saying, and I love what everyone is saying so far. It's so close to my heart, and it's a passion that I share, because one of my philosophies, and I've learned this the personal, very, very difficult way, is if you're taking to cognizance that you are going through something that's totally adverse, it's totally against exactly what you would have wished for yourself. um, but if you take that and you turn it around into becoming the fact that this is my adversity, but it's also an opportunity. What is the opportunity? It is my opportunity to grow myself. It's my opportunity to find a better me through this experience. It's an opportunity for me to learn the lessons through it. And sometimes the harshest of lessons is when it's the blows that are dealt to you by the closest of people around you. It's the closest of people around you that will be the one to actually scam you or to hurt you or to do the worst unto you. But the grace comes from within you. And when you realize that that grace is actually what is God's gift to you, then you realize from the grace within you comes your power. That comes your power to empower yourself. And that's how you're going to get through the balance of the whole thing. So sometimes while you're sitting and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like what the guest was saying, I just gave my life savings to somebody. I know I gave my everything to somebody. I gave literally my whole life was, evolved around somebody. And then you suddenly hit this bang, like, oh my gosh, now what? Like, how could I have not seen that? And etc. etc. And then you suddenly sit in your self-blame. But don't self-blame, because remember, at the end of the day, if you truly believe, and like she's saying, and like we're all agreeing, and Dedra is also saying, we are actually the examples of our faith. We lead by example. When you start to sit and realize that that actual test you are going through is because you're chosen. We are chosen to go through these trials because He alone, as your creator, knows that you can get through it. Somehow
Yeah.
He knows the ultimate. You can get through it. So you just got to push yourself, because the ultimate war that you are going to win is the victory that He wants you to win. So you're going to have to go through all of these things, but the art is to find that grace within you, to share that grace with others, because that's what we're doing via this platform, is sharing the graces that we have endured, even though they might be difficult, but we're sharing them with others who will probably resonate with something one of us is saying. And in sharing that grace is the actual art of giving, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think in doing so, the Almighty is blessing us, and His blessings are seen every day in our lives. No matter, none of us are like pure and white as milk, but then we all have our own bad things as well. And despite all of that, no matter who has cheated us or whatever, or we've gone through so many things. But if you just look back, like even Miss Rona would agree with me, we are still standing. Alhamdulillah, we are still standing. And this is the blessing. And I think I would want to understand, and I would always remind myself and others that there is a purpose for why we are standing. And we should be happy to be fulfilling that purpose in this life.
Yeah, true. And plus, I like what she said about, God chose people certain people to go through different problems because
Yeah.
they can be examples to others, and, I always think too, diamonds are forged under a lot of heat and pressure,
Mhm.
and that
Yes.
means that, you must be a very special diamond
Sparkling.
of some kind or another, some sort of a rare jewel, to the creator, to spend so much time and effort, forging you into something,
Mhm.
amazing, a force, to be reckoned with. Mhm.
Absolutely. So there are
Yeah.
some chosen ones who go through the hitting and polishing and scrapping and everything, and ultimately they are the ones who are shining. But behind the shine, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of experiences,
Yes.
but nobody actually sees that. Yes, Miss Rona. I'm sure you agree.
What happened?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Hello?
We're not able to hear you, Rona. Can
Oops.
you speak?
Hi.
Yes, hi. I
There
think you
you
were cut
are.
off in between. If you could just repeat what you were saying. Are you talking? Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello?
Hi there.
we are able to hear you. Go ahead. Are you able to
Who's
hear us,
talking?
Rona?
Ah, because I lost you. Like for a second, I lost you. So I said, is it my connection? But yeah, I lost you at least for a while. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
listening.
I think it's the connectivity because each of us are in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, and this is the thing. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. So yes, a lot of it in what we are living today. I feel I'm a blessing to my family and some, and
Yeah.
in a way that God has chosen me to be the breadwinner for my family, and I'm proud to do that. Alhamdulillah. Yes, Rona is also agreeing on that. Yes, Rona. So, what else, Rona? Where does one find you, and what are your services? If you could tell us.
Yeah, actually, we have first, when I lost my job, I lost everything. So God's grace, I got another job which doubled my salary from the past. So
Mm-hmm.
that is a grace from God. And then the
Mhm.
next, I have a business where it is doing good after 12 months or after 6 months. It is really doing good. And what I did to the business is when we get money, we share a portion of our profit to the charity. And when I started receiving my salary, and I said, during the pandemic and the people are dying, you don't even understand what it was the importance of money. What was the importance of money when you are stuck at home, you don't know what to do, you're stuck. And for me, this is where I think about the test of having nothing except your health, your
Yes.
family, and you are still in a great state of mind. For me, this is the time where you have to get yourself to more giving. So I am actually like feeding two families in the like a refugee. So I really try to reach out that way. And the company is reaching to the charities like a cancer research and the hospitals, where this is not just a business for me to be bloated in my pocket, but to make sure that it is really sharing something to the community where you belong. And maybe this is not just for the community, because as you expand, you can be someone who can lead the world to more giving. So I really like what Mr. B is doing, because this is something like you are giving some awareness to the people that giving is not just giving in a sort of money or in a sort of like gosh, but the grace itself and being kind to yourself is an act of giving. Being forgiving is an act of giving. Because I also have the case that I went to the police. The police told me that I have a strong case, so they can get this girl and they can put her in jail, and then once she's in jail she can go out. And but I think about and I put myself on her shoe. What about her family? What about her children? What about all these questions? Putting myself on her shoe. Maybe she just made a mistake that she doesn't like, so I just let it. So this is the thing. So instead of me thinking about I need to regain my money, I need to get that back, I give more and I live my life more into giving. I refocus that the money is not everything, but for me, an instrument that I have the faith in God, and that is more than enough. And what I am is a
Yes,
representation that God exists. So what I do is to make sure that people will believe that you have God because they
yes,
see God in you. They are bruised, their own adversities, they were beaten up by their own trials. All people have their own adversities. But if you are that kind of person who can try to get that in moderate, because you are there for them, to support them, to love them, whatever, even if it's not reciprocated, for me that is a share and that is giving. And for me, this is more of God. It's agape, it's endless, it's infinite, it's priceless, it's unconditional. So this is for me the overall what life is about. And for me, if you have that kind of life, this is a life worth living, because you know yourself and you know already that this is what life is about. It's not about everything, but it is about serving your faith and serving the God who gave you all the grace in this world, that I am nothing without my creator. So for me, this is how I live my life now, and I'm very, very grateful, and everything is for him and all glory for him. That's it.
Okay.
That's just
That
beautiful.
sounds like a great attitude, honestly. I applaud you.
yes,
Yes, agreed.
yes,
Yeah,
Rona. And we would, sorry?
this is really something that I can really dream of about, talking about my face, not only talking about it, posting it, but seeing the people seeing me, that God exists. God exists. So for me, this is what life is about.
Absolutely. So, yes, sharing is giving back the grace which the Almighty has blessed us all with. We would pray, stay blessed, and more power to you. all, all the women on the show, more power to all of us. Yes, and more blessings. Thank you so much for joining us, Rona. Thank you, Ms. Dedra. Thank you, Professor Mia. And
Welcome.
we are sad that Mr. B was not with us. However, we as a team continue the free talk with Mr. B every Sunday, no matter what and where we are.
Yeah.
so, so it's a chain of blessings which we want to pass forward, and we are doing our bit in whatever way we can. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
See you. Take care.